Hello and a warm welcome back to the Celtic Forever podcast where we're going to go over the weekend's results really. Celtic won, Motherwell won yesterday and Aberdeen won, Rangers won the day. So we're going to go over everything Celtic. We've got John here to go over everything with me, go over some other topics as well. How are you, John, after the last couple of games you've just watched? I don't know
I've
if you
watched.
watched it or not.
I never watched the Rangers and Aberdeen Rangers game, but obviously I watched the Celtic game. Heard the result, obviously, but
hmm
no. If I lived in Glasgow and I had a big box of bangers about letting them off right now,
Aye. The same way they were last night here. But that
exactly.
fireworks, yeah, because Celtic drew with Motherwell, that's what you're up against, isn't it? So let's get into it anyway, John. And actually, before we get into it, if you could hit that like button, that would be appreciated. Just hit the like button and the subscribe button. That would help the channel out immensely. Um, Before we go any further, John, I just want to say I was listening to some Celtic podcasts just to hear the reaction. The result yesterday against Motherwell. And I've got to be honest, some of the things the guys were saying, the team's mentality, questioning the team's mentality, questioning Brendan Rodgers, questioning the boards. You've got to remember what we're up against there yesterday, John. A Motherwell team playing a 10-0-0 formation, 10 men behind the ball for the entire 90 minutes. It's no easy try to break that down. That's Argentina would struggle to break a 10-0-0 formation down, John. I just thought the overreaction to not everybody, but some people was quite bad. You're looking at a Celtic team there, John. That's just won a treble for a start. The two league titles in a row. We're sitting clear at the top of the league with 8 points, and the boys are getting some negative feedback. And don't get me wrong as well. The goal we conceded yesterday was really, really poor defensively. If we wouldn't have conceded that goal, John, we'd be sitting 10 points clear at the top of the league, didn't
aye. I've not listened. I don't listen to other podcasts, as you know. I like listening to myself. But the thing is about yesterday's game, the formation that Motherwell had was, I don't know, it was like a 4-5-1 or a 5-4-1 or something. I think it was 5 on the 6-yard line, 4 on the penalty spot, and 1 on the 18-yard line. That was their formation. And they just stayed
Yeah,
in there. They basically just stayed in there and says, "You're not scoring against us." That's basically what their attitude was. I think the
yeah,
furthest they got, they did have a couple of chances, mind you, on the counter attack. They were no bad on the counter attack, Motherwell. So you've got to hand it to them there. I think they did that part of the game pretty well. I think they've
yeah,
looked the part maybe 3 times or something like that, and one of them was a goal. Joe Hart also pulled off a good save.
yeah,
So no, I think looking at the game yesterday, you would look at the possession and all that Celtic had. Was it 82% possession or whatever? I thought Celtic looked quite comfortable. They were playing well, especially the first half. They looked strong. They were fast,
yeah,
but the the crossing into the box left a lot to be desired. I think, Sander. I think it let us down badly.
yeah, yeah. But we weren't great with any stretch of the imagination, John. But trying to break down 10 men is it's very difficult. It's very, very difficult. And we did go ahead, and then after we went ahead, John, Motherwell threw on three big 6+ footers, to lump the ball into the box, and they got their corner and they got their goal. And fair play to them, they got their goal. They get their 1 point that they came for. This is the same Motherwell team that hasn't won a game in seven games, John. Come to Celtic Park and they get a point. So uh, we'll get into that, John. We'll get into the game, but before we do that, I just want to mention the competition for last week. What minute will the goal be scored? The first goal be scored, and obviously the goal was scored in 85 minutes 20 seconds. That was David Turnbull's penalty, and the winner of the Tommy Burns Celtic Legends frame print goes to the Prophet. Wins it again. The Prophet has now won 2 frames in a row. He was the closest, so he wins the framed Legends prints, easy as that. 2 frame prints in a row. Profit, we'll get that out to you tomorrow, and you should reach that by Wednesday morning, hopefully. So keep an eye on the postman. Right, John. We'll go into next week's competition a wee bit later on. We'll just go into the game just now. You happy with that?
Aye. Well done,
Right,
Profit, by the way. Well done, mate. That's you
Right.
starting his collection. So anybody listening, I don't know what the competition is this week because Xander's not told me yet, but get in with the competition because right now there's no many people entering it. And always remember you've got 5 guesses. So leave your guesses in the comments.
Yeah, simple as that. And it is very simple. I think we had only 10 entries this time because of the international break, John. Yeah, because the last one we had like 40 entries. This one we only had 10. So the Prophet wins it. Fair play to the Prophet. He's the one that entered. And unlucky to everybody else that entered, I might add. John will be bringing them up in the comments later on. Right, John, let's get into this game. Right. So the game, before the game kicks off, we've got Ralston starting instead of Johnston, and we've got Thiago Holmes starting instead of Turnbull, I suppose, would be the normal player that sits in there. So the game starts, and early on, we're looking quite sharp and crisp. Passing's looking good. Palmer's looking sharp as well. Some nice interpasses. You know, it was just similar to the start we had against Aberdeen. Then we get to early on in the game, 8th minute, we've got a shot from Matt O'Reilly, who more or less hits it right at the goalkeeper, John. A nice pass for Palmer in the build up to that. So Matt O'Reilly hits the shot right at the goalkeeper. Nothing really happening after that. We didn't really have many shots in goal yesterday, John, did we?
Well, they had quite a few shots in goal, but there's nothing worth talking about. Nothing really on target. It was what I took for the game. It was just wasteful crosses into the box again, like we'd seen in some previous matches. But
Yeah.
when it comes to actual shots on goal, you're right. We never had that much.
Yeah, there wasn't much. I can't recall many shots on goal. You know, obviously when we were trying to press for that winner, we were, hitting shots over the bar, stuff like that. But you've got to remember as well, John, all these players they are just back from an international break as well. You know, we've got half the team out injured, obviously, and Johnson wasn't playing either. So we had quite a few players not playing there yesterday. And add to that all the travelling with the international break, yeah, I suppose you could forgive the players for, struggling to break down a 10-man defence. But we'll move on. We'll move on. So nothing, as I say, nothing really happening till we get to 21st minute with a save from Motherwell goalkeeper Kelly, and it was from his own player O'Donnell. What a save that was, John, wasn't it? It was a header. I think he's trying to clear it out of the park, but it's going out the top corner. It's going out the top corner, John, and the keeper dives and touches it round the post or over the bar. What a save that was!
It was straight at him, man. It was quite pacey. It was hit with a lot of pace. Obviously, O'Donnell's not tried to head it into his own net, but the pace on it was right at him. I mean, it's just a reflex reaction, really, isn't it?
Yeah, it was. I thought it was some save. We didn't do much else in the first half. Apart from that, and that was a header from O'Donnell, Motherwell defender. So again, John, there's no much. We can't break down this defence. We're struggling to break them down. We're struggling to get shots on goal. The 39th minute, we've got a shot, an attack from Motherwell. Sorry, one of the very few attacks they had. I think it was a counter attack, and it was a shot from Payton from outside the box, 20 yards out, shot, save from Joe Hart. So Motherwell, John, they're very frustrating. The time wasted. I mean, how much time wasting did they do yesterday?
Well, I didn't take much notes down for yesterday's game because there wasn't that much really to say. But my very first note was 1 minute into the game, I've got a throw in and they're wasting time. Somebody throws the ball to the guy and he walks the other way, fit and all that. And look at this, it started already. 1 minute, first minute.
Yeah.
I think it was 58 seconds or something into the game. So look at this. The game hasn't even started yet and they're wasting time.
Yeah.
So I thought that side of the game was very, very poor. I know they're a small team. They've got to do anything they can to get some kind of result against a big team like Celtic, or the biggest team in the league anyway.
Hmm.
And they played that part to a T, the time wasting. The goalkeeper was ridiculous with his time wasting. The whole team was. The whole team was, and they were getting booked for it, which was good. But
Yeah, they did get booked for it because in the 42nd minute, just before half time, O'Donnell gets booked for time wasting. So, the referee he did notice it and he did take some action. And he also added on quite a bit of injury time. So yeah, O'Donnell gets booked, John, for time wasting. So yeah, the referee, sorry, he did keep on top of it, didn't he?
I think they did. I think they had 3 yellow cards for time wasting. Because that's the worst I've seen at Celtic Park, Sander, for time wasting.
Yeah,
Really, really. I mean, if I can just picture I see it all the time, these managers before Celtic games sitting there with their wee team in their wee room. Right, you need to waste time here, you need to waste time there, you need to do this, you all need to get behind the ball. Everybody in the 6-yard box when they're attacking.
yeah,
What kind of tactics is that for a game of football? I mean, it's
yeah.
not what you would call it's not what you would call entertaining, is it? It's no entertainment. It's just drab. It's dreadful. It's pathetic.
And it's anti-football, as far as I'm
It's,
concerned.
I've never seen Celtic once in my life doing that. Not once. Even we're playing
No,
against big teams like Barcelona, we're still having a go. We'll defend
yeah,
when we need to defend, but we'll have a go. And teams like that, it's just disgraceful. It's just a disgrace to football, I think. It isn't even football, Xander.
hmm yeah. It's hard to watch, isn't it? It's you're pulling your hair out watching it when you're actually watching the game. It's dreadful, dreadful to watch. And a lot of people are giving Celtic a hard time. Celtic are trying their hardest to break this down. The time wasting, the 10 men behind the ball, everything, all the other antics that are going on. But we'll move on, John. Move on to the second half.
Aye, but
Uh,
look, that's exactly my feelings on it as well, Xander. Celtic, it's just they're 11 human beings on the park trying to break that down. It's no the players' fault. I thought Celtic players actually played pretty well with
yeah,
the little space that they had. But what I will say is where Celtic failed was having some shots from outside the box. There was a few occasions. Carter Vickers moving forward, Big Liam Scales moving forward. I think they could have had a few digs at goal because they had the space to try it.
yeah. There was also a few times, John. We'll get to that, but when Turnbull came on, he had space at the edge of the box, and he didn't pull the trigger like he normally does. So yeah, there was times when we could have had some shots because in previous games we've had more shots outside the box, but it just didn't seem to happen yesterday against Motherwell. Um, so the second half kicks off, John. We've got Thiago home off, and O comes on. So he's gone with two up front. He's going to try and get this goal that puts us in the lead. But again, we have to puff for getting nowhere. Motherwell dogged in defence. And there's nothing happening. In the 60th minute, there's a head knock to Scales. I thought he was going to have to come off for that one, John. That was like quite a serious one.
I think it was down injured for about 5 minutes.
Hmm.
But look, self-inflicted. It's not the Motherwell player's fault. Liam Scales just went in and he's done that himself, basically.
Nah, well, that looked like a bad one anyway. And I thought, who's the new boy for Liverpool? Davis, is it? Who's the Motherwell? Who's the player we signed for Motherwell defender? Phillips, sorry, Phillips. I thought Phillips was going to come on. I thought Phillips was going to come on for Scales because that looked like a really bad head knock. But no, he played on, he soldiered through. And then Kerr handles the ball outside the box, Sean. Nothing's given. Did you think
That's
that
a
was outside the box? It was.
that's
It was. It was. It was outside the box, wasn't it?
I wasn't giving you much on the replays to work out exactly what happened. I'd have to watch that again, but to me it looked like he's handled it outside the box. Aye. To me, for what I seen there, he's 100% handled that outside the box, but that's only on the brief replay that you've seen. I'm only going by that. I'd have to see that and slow it right down and see exactly what happened there, because the replays are terrible. So, look, I don't know. To me, for what I've seen, he's handled that outside the box.
Yeah, that's what I thought. That was my immediate thought when I saw it. That's outside the box. He's carried it over the line. He should be off the park. But, you know, I don't think VAR can look at that, can they? I don't think they can look at incidents like that. So we play on. And forgive me if I cough because I'm loaded with a cold just now. So I'm sorry about that, everybody that's watching and listening. So we move on, John, and then we get the penalty. You know, it's McGabby foul in the 64th minute, John. That should have been a red card, I think, as well. But I don't think he got booked for that, did he? I can't remember.
I think he
He
did
did.
get booked.
Did he
Yellow
get
card.
booked? Right. It should have been a red because he was the last man. It should have been a red as far as I'm concerned. All had to do was tap it in the net, and he's pulled down. You know, the last man. It should be a red card as far as I'm concerned.
Aye, that's what I was thinking as well. But look, it wasn't a given. We kind of going on about that, but I'm just going to say I totally agree with you. I think personally myself, he looks like he's the last man. He's right through the back, and VAR's got the cheek to look at that. You could be 150 yards away from that and an off stand up in the top tier at the very back, and you can see that's a blatant penalty.
Mm-hmm.
Why is VAR even looking at that? You know?
Yeah. But as I say, excuse me. As I say, it's the penalty's given anyway. Eventually, and up steps Palmer to hit the penalty, John, and it's a poor penalty. I mean, after all the praise we've given the boy, and we'll continue to give him praise because he's a great player, but he should have just rattled that and put his foot through it, put his 1-0 up, John. That was a poor penalty.
Very poor. I mean, he's got his unique style, isn't he? Taking a penalty. That wee kind of just walk up, stop, and then hit it with some power. It's an easy save for the keeper. Good height for a keeper. It's a really, really poor penalty, to be honest with you. I'm not going to come down hard on Palmer, because to me he's one of the most important players at Celtic. Fantastic player, a great young talent. Look, when we were talking about midweek, do you think that sitter he missed for Honduras will affect his performance?
That's right. So we did. Yeah, so we did. And I don't know. I'm not saying it affected his performance because he looked quite sharp at the start of the game, but you know, after the start of the game, it looked as though his head was down a wee bit. So after his penalty miss, John, and to add to that, John, sorry, before we move on, anybody can miss a penalty at any time. You know, it can happen. You know, but just don't seem to have very confident penalty takers at the club just now, do we?
No, Celtic are the kings at missing penalties, aren't they, right now? So, look, when he missed that penalty, I'm thinking it's just one of the days. It's going to be nothing each. That's what I was thinking at that point.
Yeah, definitely, John.
There's more to come.
Yeah, there's more to come. Yeah, and it's not all great, I might add.
No.
So we make another few subs. John Palmer comes off the park right away after his penalty miss. So he comes off. Johnston comes on. That's Mikey Johnston, and then we've got Kyogo off, who never really did. We'll go through the players' performances in 5 minutes. But Kyogo comes off, who never done much in the game, and Turnbull comes on. So a couple of subs there, John. And then right away, Turnbull has a shot at goal. You know, Turnbull has a shot, 69th minute, and it's more or less right at the keeper. But he's shown a wee bit of intent, John, and has a shot at goal from outside the box. Keeper saves it. So, you know, that's one shot we've had at goal more than we had practically in the whole first half.
Aye. Do you know what? I was actually glad to see Turnbull coming on yesterday. I don't normally say that, but I think replacing Thiago Home is a good move. We'll get to that later, of course, but I think it was a welcome addition for me at that point. I'm not saying he came on and played fantastic. I'm just saying at that point, when he came on, I was glad that he did.
Yeah. Do you think Turnbull should be starting the games until Hatate's fit, John?
Look, we've not seen much of Bernardo since what game was it? Ross County, I think, was the last time he played. I'd like to see him again. We're still not seeing Iwata getting a start. I don't know why. Fantastic player like that. So there's a couple of players that could come in: Turnbull, Iwata, Bernardo. I'm not saying Thiago Holmes a bad player. I like Thiago Holmes, but yesterday just we'll get to that.
Yeah, we'll get to that. Yeah. All right, John. So that was Turnbull's shot then. Anyway, we're getting near the end of the game. The fingernails are getting bitten by this point. There's only 10 minutes to go. We've got a header from Yang, wide of the post, John. That you should have buried that, I think.
Oh, aye. Look, you've got to be putting that away, really, ain't you? It's, I thought it was in.
Yeah,
I thought
so
it
did
was
I.
in, wasn't it? The quality of the cross was fantastic. Right onto his head. Can't be missing that for there. You want to win a league, you can't be missing that. You can't be missing chances like that at home.
Yeah. And just to recap there, John, I'm bearing in mind with all these chances we're missing. All these players are just back for international duty, so they've been travelling all over the world as well, But it's not an excuse; it's just a fact. So we move on. We've got another header, John, for Scalesy. 83rd minute, we've got another header. That's also went wide. I thought that was in. I thought that was in more than the Yang one, to be honest with
you. No, I thought that the Yang one. Yang won.
Yeah.
I thought Yang's chance was a better chance than the man Big Scales had.
Right.
But I think with Yang being more an attacking type player, I was expecting that to burst there, to be honest with you. But I thought Big Scales played really well yesterday, by the way. Just quickly touch on that. I thought he performed just his usual standard, so it was fantastic.
Until the goal, aye, but we'll get into that, John. I'm not saying it was Scales' fault, but we'll get to that. Then we've got the goal that puts us in the lead. The relief around the stadium when this goal goes in, and it's Mikey Johnson who's pulled back in the box. Fair play to him for being in that position and pointing out to the referee that he's fouled in the box. It goes to VAR. Penalty's given, John. 85th minute. Obviously the prophet will be happy with that because that's when the first goal was scored. He gets his frame, Tommy Burns legend print, but the goal, he puts it away lovely, no problem. Hits to the keeper's right hand side. Celtic are 1-0 up. How did you feel at that point?
Aye, I never seen it coming, to be honest with you. I just couldn't see a goal coming for Celtic at that point. But I was elated at that point. I was like, yes, that's it. 3 points in the bag. Tough day.
Yeah.
We'll take it all day. A penalty kick. Didn't last long though, did it? The joy.
No, it didn't, John, because Celtic brought on Yang. Sorry, Celtic took off Yang, brought on Tillio, and Motherwell brought on three giants, John, to try and get an equaliser. 3 6-foot plus players, and they forced a corner. 3 minutes later, John, they forced the corner. The ball comes into the box. Celtic failed to clear it. You got Greg Taylor marking the tallest man in the park. Where was the centre halves as well? That's my question. But they failed to clear it anyway. It hits off somebody, don't know who. Ball trickles over the line. And we're looking at a draw. 90th minute equaliser. How did you feel at that point? How did you feel then?
Their players running out of their fans as if they just won the World Cup.
I knew you were going to say that.
Yeah, no, I mean, that sickens me. You see that behaviour? They haven't even won the game yet. That's how much it means to them to get something off of Celtic. Every one of their players in a line running towards their fans. Every single one, as if it was planned, premeditated.
Yeah.
But look, fair play to them. They got their corner, they got their goal. Just right, fair enough. That's it. It's one each. I'm just going to go back to the penalty for Celtic. The Mikey Johnson getting pulled back.
Aye.
He was the only Celtic player complaining to the referee about that. See if that was Atletico Madrid or something. Everybody in their team would be running the referee for that. And we've touched on that before. Why do Celtic players no surround the referee? when decisions
That's
like
true.
that are happening. Mikey Johnson's the only one. He's got his arms up. He knows he's been pulled back. Why is every Celtic player no joining in with that?
Yeah, I know what you're saying, John. That's a good point, actually. You know, and if it wasn't for Mikey Johnson pointing that out to the referee, we wouldn't have got a penalty. It wouldn't have went to VAR.
Exactly. And that's what I'm saying. You watch these teams in Europe, as soon as something happens to one of the players, the whole teams are in the referee, their manager, the lot, they're all complaining. Celtic players, very soft at that, Xander. They've got to get together and say, look, we think one of our players has been fouled or anything, make it known to the referee. Otherwise, nothing's going to happen. And Mikey Johnson, fair play to the boy for doing that. And he was adamant that he was pulled back and got the penalty. So well done, Mikey.
Yeah, well done, son. Well done. He got us the penalty that put us in the leads. If only we could have held on to that lead for another 4 or 5 minutes, John. It would have been a win, but it wasn't. There was 10 minutes added on injury time, John. It was just a case of huff and puff, wasn't it? There was nothing really. There was nothing concrete in that 10 minutes, was there? Not that I can remember.
No, really, because I've not got any notes wrote down, so I don't actually remember. I know we kind of just, like you say, we just kind of huffed and puffed and nothing ever came of it. I think after they scored, I knew that was it. It was going to finish one each. I just knew that. And there wasn't going to be any 7th minute injury time winner this time. I didn't feel it the whole game, Xander. I didn't feel it the whole game. I just felt this is a draw, written all over it.
Yeah. All right, John. The final whistle goes, and you know, one each. It's not a great result. You're thinking at this point, obviously, you know, Rangers are going to go to Pittodrie now, and they'll probably get the 3 points, and that brings it down to 6 points with a game in hand. But it's not worked out that way, has it?
Thankfully, no. And people might wonder why me and Xander always say we like Aberdeen. It's not because we're Aberdeen fans. Far from it, I'm not an Aberdeen fan. But they're the only team in this league that gives them a game every time they play them. The only team, apart from us, that gives them a game. See all the teams like Motherwell and all that, 5-0 against them and all that. You know what I mean? We get that after 10 teams in the league, really. That kind of performance, blood and guts.
Yeah.
So that's the difference between Celtic and them. We've got to fight to get the goals that we get. We've got to fight very hard to get it. Sometimes teams will come out and have a go. It's like maybe Hearts not to leave themselves exposed a wee bit and we'll beat them. But look, it's probably 95% of the time for Celtic. These teams are battling like their life depends on it. You can't deny that, Xander.
No, you know, you're true in what you're saying about Aberdeen. Whenever Rangers play Aberdeen, John, you know they're going to be in a game. That's a fact. That is a fact. Obviously, when the players as well, they're going to be in a game, but we know that already. But you know, I watched the game the day Rangers against Aberdeen. I don't normally watch it, but I had a wee feeling the day that something was going to happen. And it took a 92nd minute penalty for them to get a draw out of that game, John. They were losing that game the day. We should be sitting here further ahead in the league. You know, we've got to be grateful for the point, I suppose, that Aberdeen got, because it keeps the status quo, if you like. It keeps us 8 points clear at the top of the league. But we should be sitting here 9 points clear because they got a VAR penalty with 2 minutes injury time. I know you didn't watch the game, John, so this is all news to you.
No.
But you know, you've got to be grateful for what Aberdeen done. You know, Barry Robson, well done to Barry. The Aberdeen players, well done to every one of them as well, because they put in a battling performance and they got the draw they deserved.
Aye, absolutely. Like I said, we'll keep saying it. We like Aberdeen because of that. That's the reason we like them. And here's a wee thing, right? If anybody thinks Aberdeen take it easy against Celtic, look at last week. Look at that header on Kyogo. No, last week, the last game, I mean. Look at the header on Kyogo for the Aberdeen defender taking right in through the back of Kyogo and wiping them out, knocking them unconscious. Is that a team that's no trying?
Yeah. Celtic were just a better team on the day. Simple as that.
Yang gets
Aberdeen
his
are.
eye buffed as well. So
That's right. Yeah, definitely, John. But it's I watched the game today, and what I saw was two pretty poor teams. We've got some Celtic podcasts, sorry, giving the boys, the manager, a hard time for yesterday. And fair enough. If that's your opinion, that's your opinion. But Rangers are still to play their game, John. Rangers are still to play Aberdeen, and that's not a gimme. It's never a gimme, especially up at Pittodrie. So we didn't get the win yesterday that we were looking for, but we got the point. We got a point. They got a point, and we remain 8 points clear at the top of the league, John. So I'm happy with that anyway. And all I will say is we need to start putting these teams to bed. It's especially at Celtic Park.
look, it's easier said than done, isn't it? That's why I'm not going to come on here and give the team a hard time. Look at their formation. Like I say, it was a 5-4-1, wasn't it? All lined up in the inside the 18-yard box. It's virtually impossible to break that down. So,
and what you've got to bear in mind, John, is the injuries as well. We are missing key, not just injuries. These are key men. These are our top players we're missing. Hatate, Abada, Maeda, Alistair Johnston, Naroki at the back. That's 5 alone. And then the rest of the players were all away in international duty. So you've got to take all this into account as well when you're talking about the team's performance.
aye, look, absolutely. You have, and just if you look at guys like Maeda, he's obviously one of the most important players at Celtic. Dyson Maeda, he gives you the work of two men, doesn't he, Dyson? Rio Hatate, the most technically gifted player in Scotland, probably the best player in Scotland, I would say. Rio Hatate, I think.
Yeah.
Leo Abada, very pacey winger, puts in a half decent cross, that kind of guy. See, guys like this. Where are you, Xander? You the car racing or something?
I'm in Brands Hatch. Sorry for to tell the listeners that I'm in Brands Hatch watching a wee bit of car race. Sorry about that, listeners. Sorry about that. It's just where I live. There's a lot of Ned drivers or boy racers, whatever you want to call them.
Half
Aye. Moving on.
Well, the other player missing is obviously Alistair Johnston. Probably the best right back in Scotland, I know. So look, I don't know if Alistair was injured or whatever. I didn't hear anything. I didn't see the subs bench, so I don't know if he was injured or what. Any news on that?
I think he was on the bench, John. I think it's just because he just travelled back like a few hours before the game started, so he didn't want to risk him, so he was on the bench.
Oh, so was Palmer. He was just back, I know.
But he risked him. You must be thinking of Tuesday because Palmer, he's obviously suspended for Tuesday against Lazio. So he's played him, and obviously because he's suspended, he can play him yesterday because he's not playing on Tuesday, if you know what I mean. And he didn't want to risk Johnston because he can play on Tuesday night.
Aye, I suppose so. Aye, I forgot Palmer was missing for Tuesday. That's going to be a big loss, isn't it?
Yes, yeah. Although saying that, Lazio did get beat at the weekend, so they've lost their game, John. We've managed to draw our game, but it's going to be tough. But we'll get into that near the end, John. Let's go through our 1 out of 10 player performance, John. We'll just quickly run through this, right? Because we're approaching 35 minutes already. Joe Hart in goal, John. I don't think you're going to be gaining a 7 this week, are you?
I don't know. You want to give me your players first?
Aye, okay. Joe Hart, John, I thought he was sloppy. His distribution wasn't great. He made a few blunders, John. I just didn't think he was, especially at their goal. He should have just came out, commanded his box, either punched the ball away or caught the ball, whatever, do something. But he never done either. And and he conceded that goal, that late goal.
Aye.
So I'm going to
Well,
give him a 5.
a 5?
Hmm.
A 5 for Joe
Yeah,
Hart, right?
yeah.
Yeah. So look, see, just even before I get on to Joe Hart, was it Callum McGregor that put the ball out for a corner? He had time to kick it up the park and he put it out for a corner. At that time when I was watching the game, I was thinking, why are you doing that?
Hmm.
But look, that's just a wee point I wanted to bring up.
Yeah,
I
yeah,
was thinking,
yeah.
I think it was Callum McGregor that put it out for the corner. He had
I can't
time to,
really remember.
he had time to do, whoever it was had time to do whatever he wanted to do with it. He could have put it out
Hmm.
for a throw in or anything. Easiest option, put it out for a corner. And like you said, they just brought on 3 6-foot plus players. Bad decisions, Ander.
Definitely. Yeah. All right, John, let's go into the wing backs. Tony Ralston and Greg Taylor. Both are getting a 5 for me, John, because Ralston, as far as I'm concerned, done nothing in the game. And Taylor, the teams are targeting Taylor. They're actually targeting Taylor because he's height, and I don't think they've done much in the game either, to be perfectly honest with you. So both, I'll give them a 5.
Aye. Well, I've not gave Joe Hart's number yet. I'm going to agree with you. Yesterday was a 5. He nearly caused a goal, didn't he? Come outside his box and he couldn't
That's right.
touch it after that. It nearly caused a goal. So no, Joe Hart's getting. Aye, he did pull off a couple of decent saves as well, I think, though.
Yeah, but the Motherwell goalkeeper can come out his box and pick it up. That's no problem.
Aye, he
It's
can
only,
do
it's
that.
only, it's, no, it's only the Celtic keeper that can do that. But sorry, John, on you go.
Aye, well, Joe Hart gets a 4 for me for yesterday, actually. I'm going to give him a 4 just because of that.
Hmm.
I normally give him a 7 every week, but it's a 4 for that. I've seen the bad side of Joe Hart yesterday.
Yeah.
It doesn't often show that side, but for that, he's getting a 4 off of me. Greg Taylor and Anthony Ralston. 4 for Anthony Ralston, 4 for Greg Taylor.
All right, John. No bother. They were quite poor. I don't know why. I thought Tony would have put in a performance for us yesterday. He's not played in a wee while, but I don't know. The team was just a wee bit lethargic, I thought.
Well,
You
Tony
know,
Ralston, defensively, Ralston was okay. It wasn't that great, but I think he was putting a few half decent crosses near the end. He was firing in decent crosses when nobody getting on the end of them.
hmm
So maybe I'll give him a 5 for that for his crossing that. Aye, so Greg Taylor 4, Anthony Ralston 5.
Yeah, I'll get it to him a 5, John. We huffed and puffed as a team. We're just going to break that defence down. Callum McGregor,
What about centre
Thiago
back?
Holm. Oh, I centre back. Sorry, hi, sorry. But we went on a wee bit there with the wing backs. Centre backs, both of them, I'll give them a 7.5. I thought they were solid enough, John. Both of them are stepping out of defence as well, trying to find that killer pass. Scales had a couple of shots as well. Both defended quite well, I thought. Apart from the corner, I just we were nowhere to be seen at the corner for their goal. But apart from that, defence was solid enough. So 7.5 for both.
Aye, look, the two centre backs, they virtually played the whole game in the Motherwell half, didn't
That's right. Yeah,
they?
they did. Yeah.
Fair play to them. I thought they did well. I think somebody could have done something. Some marking at the goal that we lost. I think maybe Scales or Carter Vickers could have maybe done a better job of marking. I'm not going to blame any defenders. I thought both of them had a good game. I'll give both of them a 7.
Right. Okay, John. All right. We'll move on to midfield, and that was Matt O'Reilly, Thiago Holm, and Callum. Callum, I'll give him. I don't know. It's a tough one with Callum. He never done anything wrong, but he doesn't do the busting midfield runs anymore. He doesn't burst through the lines, if you like, and bust into the box. So I'll give Callum a 7. Thiago Holm 4.5, and Matt, I'm going to give him a 5. I just thought the front two midfielders, if you like, were quite quiet yesterday. So yeah, that's my scores: 4.5, 5, and 7 for Callum.
Well, all the players were getting involved in the game, which was good. That's what I took out of that. Every player was getting involved.
Hmm.
That's what I like to see for Celtic. Every player getting involved. I don't blame the boys for not being able to break that down.
Yeah.
Need a JCB to break that down yesterday, Xander. So I'm going to give Callum McGregor a 7. I thought wee Cal played all right. He tried to control the midfield. He normally does, and I think he did that again. 7 for Cal. Thiago Home. I think he had a poor game. 4 for Thiago Home. Matt O'Reilly, 5.5. Wasn't involved in enough of the good stuff. Aye, so I think that's fair enough marks. I'm not going to overrate players just because they're Celtic players. That's my honest opinion.
Yeah. Okay, John, we'll move on to the forward three, who was Palmer, Kyogo, and Yang. Palmer, I thought he started brightly, putting in some vicious crosses into that box. Nobody at the end of them, obviously. So I'm going to give him a 7 because he was okay. I know he missed his penalty, but apart from that, he was okay. He's tried to break that down. He tried his hardest to break that defence down. 7 for him. Kyogo didn't do much in the game at all for me. Didn't get on the end of any of the crosses that Palmer was putting in. So I'm afraid Kyogo's getting a 5. And obviously Kyogo came off as well, didn't he? So that tells you everything you need to know. And Yang tried his hardest. He kept coming inside. John, I thought he should have tried to take his man on the outside a wee bit more, but he didn't. He kept cutting inside and trying to find the easy pass. He could have took his man on a bit more, so I'll give him a 6.
Aye. Now I'm going to go for Palmer. Probably the best player at the forward three. Even though he missed a penalty, he took it off right after that, didn't he? After he missed the penalty, he was subbed right away.
Yeah.
But before that, I thought he was playing well. He never really done much wrong, did he, Palmer?
No, he didn't. No, he played well.
So I'm going to give him a 7. Hard look. We know he can pinpoint a cross, but try to pinpoint a cross in there. It's a needle in a haystack, innit? With that. So, no, I'll give Lewis Palmer a 7.5. I thought he played well. Kyogo, 5, like yourself. I thought he wasn't involved in anything at all. In fact, he'd be fortunate to get a 5. It's no Kyogo's game. He's trying to find space in that box. There wasn't any space, Sander. There wasn't any.
No.
But
no, there was no space. No.
He never did anything to influence the game anyway. So 5 for me for Kyogo. And I'll give Yang a 5 as well. I don't think he influenced it much at all. He was trying to get by players. He was putting a lot of crosses wayward, out the park or whatever. I don't think he done much to influence it. He gets a 5.
Yeah. It's obviously, once you're struggling to break down Murrell's defence, it's going to affect the players eventually. They're going to run out of ideas, if you like. Quickly touch on the subs. We've got Mikey Johnston and Turnbull. Turnbull done okay when he came on. I give him a 6. Mikey Johnston, I'll give him a 6 as well. Done okay, I suppose. I'm not going to go too much into the subs. I'll give him a 5. Never really done much when he came on. And Telio, I'll give him a 4.5.
We get a first look at Telio, didn't we? What did you think him?
He was quite sharp. I thought he looked quite sharp. Obviously, didn't have enough time to do anything in the game, John. He only came on with a few minutes to go, the last few minutes of injury time. Yeah, looks okay. John.
Very pacey, isn't he?
Yeah, he's quick. He looks confident as well.
It's not the right game to bring him on in right enough. He doesn't get much chance to show what he's capable of doing, I don't think, in a game like that. I thought it looked all right, the boy. Aye, nice and pacey. I like my players up front to have a lot of pace, and he looks like he's got it.
Yeah.
So I think he did okay. Turnbull came on and did, I don't know, he didn't influence it that much. I'll give Turnbull a 5.
Scored this penalty.
He scored his penalty, aye. He didn't do much other than score a penalty. He did have a shot from outside the box. He scored his penalty, didn't he? Put it away well. And he looked happy when he done it. So let's give him a 6, actually, David Turnbull.
Right. Yeah.
Did nothing really. Missed a sitter as well.
Yeah, that's right.
No, it was a fizzed in cross, and he just totally fluffed it, man. Give him a 4.
Couldn't control it. That's right.
I'll give him a 4. Tillio, to me, if we get a first look at him, it's hard to judge a player on the little time he was only near enough injury time he came on, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know the time, I can't remember exactly. Never had much time to do anything. I'll give him a 5. Who was the other one?
Johnson. Mikey Johnson. Aye.
No, Alistair Mikey, aye.
Yeah.
The luxury of 2 Johnsons, So,
Aye.
I don't know. Look, the boy complained to the referee, and if he wouldn't have done that, would have got nothing. So I'm going to give you Mikey Johnson. He looked quite good when he came on. Try to get by players, quite tricky. Never really done much with it. That's the way he's always been, isn't it?
Aye. That's aye.
A 5.5, just for winning as a penalty.
All right, John. But you're relying on Mikey Johnson and Tillio, who's never kicked a ball for us. You're in trouble, all right, John. We'll leave that there. We'll leave it there. So finishes 1 each. We huffed, and we couldn't break them down.
Right.
Simple as that, isn't it? Simple as that. These days happen, John. These days happen at the office. Unfortunately, yesterday was one of the days. It's just these things happen. That's all I'll say on the matter.
Yeah.
Sorry, John. On you go.
No, I've just got to say it's an international hangover, I think.
Yeah. I'll just quickly touch on this week's promotion, right, John? I will go a wee bit more into it on the next podcast we do for the preview of the Lazio game in midweek. So, simple, very simple. What minute will the first yellow card be on Sunday? I think it is we play, John. So, what minute will the first yellow card be on Sunday when we play St Johnstone away? What minute will the first yellow card be? Just leave it in the comment section. What minute you think the first yellow card will be, whether it's for Celtic or St Johnstone? Just put it in the comment section. Simple as that, and you'll win that Celtic Legends framed print. And this week we're giving away the Bertie Auld framed print, John. Bertie Auld.
Oh, Bertie, that's a good one, aye.
Yeah.
One of my favourites, wee Bertie.
Yeah, wee Bertie, yeah, wee legend. Miss him dearly. Right, so that's it, John. Just put in the comments what minute will the first yellow card be at the weekend's game against St Johnstone. Put it in the comments what minute you think it'll be, and you can have up to 5 guesses. And good luck to everybody that enters in the comments for us, John.
Aye. I'll quickly grab them for you, Xander. Let's see. I'm sitting at the computer here. Sometimes it takes a while to load up. I think it's on its last legs.
Where's the call go?
Oh, it's a good computer. It's just sometimes it's a bit. It's an Apple. All my products are all Apple products. That's what I like.
Right.
But it's a bit old now, Sander. So
it's just still no help.
No, that's on. No, I'm talking to you. I can't read comments and talk to you about computers. So here's a thing, right? The first comment up is Elaine, right? So here's a thing that we can talk about here. Do you think the Green Brigade were badly missed yesterday?
Of course they were. I've been saying it for weeks. They've been badly missed. We just need to get them back. That's the bottom line. Get them back.
No,
the Green Brigade, they were very, very much missed yesterday. That goes without question. Next question.
Aye, no, that was the. So the first comment was for Elaine, and she says the Green Brigade makes the game, which is, I don't think they make the game, but I know what she means. I think they influence the team on the park a lot because it gets the stadium singing and all that. So I think they influence the players a bit.
Yeah.
Kind of
and saying that, John, sorry to interrupt, and saying that the Green Brigade were there at the 1 St Johnstone game as well, so you've got to bear that in mind, I suppose.
Of course you have, aye, but I think they do influence the game a wee bit, influence the players, I mean.
Mm-hmm.
But I think as soon as you walk out that tunnel at Celtic for kick-off and you look around, you see that massive stadium with 60,000 fans in it, it's way to lift your spirits, isn't it?
Yeah, I think the spirits were fine yesterday. It's just we couldn't beat a brick wall. Simple as that.
I'm not talking about yesterday's, and I'm just kind of talking in general there, but No, I'm not saying it, but I think the team played okay yesterday. I think it's hard job breaking down a brick wall, always is. But anyway, let's get to the comments. The Green Brigade makes the game, says Elaine. The work these guys put into Celtic Park is second to none. They put a lot of effort in with the singing and the drums and all that. We heard drums yesterday at Celtic Park. Don't know if that was the Motherwell fans.
Nah, I think it was. I think it was the Motherwell fans.
I guess they carry a wee drum, didn't they?
A wee drum, aye.
Their wee team with their wee drum.
Aye.
She says, great pod as pair. Hope you're both well, Xander and John. Thanks for the comment, Elaine.
Yeah, thanks, Elaine. And I'm no well, but thanks anyway. Right, John, next.
Paul McComb, one of the regulars. Nakamura, best free kick ever. Two keepers wouldn't have got to that. I think he's talked about the last podcast where we're talking about Nakamura. His free kick against Man United.
Aye, that's right. Yeah, belter. What a free kick. Yeah. Class, different class.
Aye, so the
Good
prophet.
comment.
Aye, man, Nakamura, aye. I'd love to see a player like him at Celtic again.
Yeah.
Anyway, the prophet. Thanks for your comment, by the way, Paul.
Yeah, cheers, Paul. Cheers, buddy.
The prophet says, I hope for Jota. Imagine Jota on the right and Palmer on the left. That's the dream team. See, Jota's away now, prophets. Would you like to see him back here, Xander, Jota?
Oh, I'd love to see Jota back. I would. He never left under any bad circumstances or anything like that. You know, no. If there was a chance he could come back, I'd take him back, John, every day of the week.
No, he just left with pound signs in his eyes, didn't he?
Aye, that's it. Who wouldn't he?
80 grand a week's not to be sniffed at, is it?
That's it. That's it.
So the prophet wants Jota back, Jota on the right and Palmer on the left. I thought Jota was more effective on the left, actually.
Yeah, but he could switch around, couldn't he? He could play either wing.
I would love to see Jota back at Celtic. I've always liked Jota, so I agree with you there, Prophet. I would like to see him back.
Yeah.
And we'll get just some guesses for the goals. A lot of them's Prophet. That's how he's winning all these competitions. Anybody listening? Prophet's getting the guesses in and news only, so he's need to get in with the guesses. It's an easy competition to win, so 5 guesses each. When will the first yellow card be scored against St Johnstone next week? Easy peasy lemon squeezy. Get in there with a guess.
That's it. Get yourself a legend frame print. Prophet's got 2 already. We've given away 4 already. It's very simple. You get it within 2 days. It's just get your comments in the comment section. And good luck to everybody that enters as well, because it's they're good prints. They're nice prints, and you'll enjoy hanging it up in your wall. Lovely printouts. Any more comments, John?
Aye, Prophet's got 2 of them. We're not here to sell t-shirts like other people. No, we're not looking for money off you. Anyway, cross carrier.
Cross carrier.
Aye, well, this one was added obviously after the game. Oh dear, Lordy, what were you going to do now? 1-1. This has been on the cards for a while now. Couldn't keep getting lucky. Are you kidding me on, cross carrier? 6-0 against Aberdeen's lucky. 3-0 against Ross County away from home's lucky. What are you talking about?
Yeah, no, it's definitely no lucky. We're unlucky. We're actually unlucky. You know, you're up against a barrier against Motherwell. We can't break them down. We go ahead and we lose a goal for a sloppy goal for a corner kick. That's what I call unlucky. But John, it's status quo. Rangers dropped 2 points today as well, so we've got to be happy with that. We stay 8 points clear. We stay 8 points clear at the top of the league, John. And as long as we don't have any more slip ups, we'll be absolutely fine.
I'm just racking my brain what he means with getting lucky. I think Celtic's performed really well this season.
Unbeaten, still unbeaten.
I think Celtic's been performing really well this season. Obviously, we're not firing at 100%, but I think the performances have been pretty good, cross carrier. So I don't know what you're getting lucky for. But let's move on. Ghost Tracker. Been waiting since 1 a.m. Or was that 10 a.m.? Great listen again. I don't know what he's talking about. Was he talking about Xander?
Oh, that was the podcast the other day. The Wi-Fi crashed. Couldn't get it uploaded because of the Wi-Fi crashed. So I put it on for 10 o'clock. Then I had to leave it to the next morning. So that's what he's talking about, John. Because I put a wee post on to let everybody know what time the podcast is going to be on. And obviously I had to cancel it because the Wi-Fi had crashed. So that's what he means by waiting at 10 o'clock. He must have been waiting on us.
Well,
Sorry about that. Sorry about that, Ghost Tracker. Sorry about that.
Just hang in there, Ghost Tracker. You never know the minute, but you know what I mean? Have you even entered the competition? I've never seen any of your entries for a competition. Get in there, boy.
Yeah. Everybody get in there with your guesses. Everybody get in there.
Aye, you need to get in with your guesses. It's I'm not going to say it again, but anyway, Colin Stewart. Xander, every time you ask, I'll see. What's it says? Sorry, Xander, every time you talk, I'll see Colombo now. And then it says 4-0. That was my guess as well, Colin, 4-0. But how far off the mark were we there?
Yeah, I think everybody was off the mark. Colombo, aye, that was because I said one more thing, wasn't it? So there you go. Sometimes these names stick. Everybody was off the mark, John, with a guess. I said what did I say? 3-0, 3-1. I said 3-1. Nowhere near it. So
Aye.
we move on. Yeah.
It's a case of tough luck, innit? We're trying to break down a brick wall, we can't do it. It's very hard to do that. We've seen it time and time again this season. Hibs, St Johnstone, Motherwell twice they did it at Fir Park as well. They've all done it. That's just the name of the game in Scotland. They're trying to break down the best team, they're trying to stop the best team in Scotland by a country mile for getting a result. That's what we're up against every single week.
Yeah, definitely.
So we've got one for Paul McEwen. We've not seen Paul for a while. It just says hail, hail. So hail, hail. And there's a few for the Prophet. We've already read the Prophet a few times here. He said enough mentions, so we'll leave it there, Xander.
All right. Well done to the Prophet. One more mention for you. Well done to the Prophet. He's 1-2 frame prints. And keep your guesses coming, Prophet. Keep them coming in, buddy.
Aye, well, I'll say a big shout out to Michelle Stewart, who leaves a wee message on Facebook. She wanted to win a prize, and sadly, Michelle, you're out of luck again, pal. So you need to try again. What time will the first yellow card be dished out against St Johnstone next week?
Yeah. And that's it. That's the competition for next week. Good luck to everybody that enters, as I've already said. And we'll leave it there, John. We've done a preview for the Lazio game on Tuesday, so we need to do a preview tomorrow then. Are you up for that?
Aye, games on Tuesday, and I've not much rest, is there, between these games?
Definitely.
Aye, no, I'm definitely up for doing the podcast, but and we'll talk about that tomorrow then, Xander.
All right, John. And well done to Aberdeen as well. Well done for putting in a battling performance. And Celtic, well done for remaining 8 points clear at the top of the league. And we'll see you tomorrow, John. All right, buddy?
Okie dokie, Xander. I'll speak to you tomorrow. Hail, hail, mate.
Hail, hail. Thank you.